Hey guys, what's up? I'm Nilesh Burman and welcome to my channel. In this edition of video, we will study in brief about what is Sangam age, Sangam literature, polity and administration during the Sangam age, Sangam society, Sangam economy and religion during the Sangam age, and at last we see the end of the Sangam age. So we begin with what is the Sangam age. So the period roughly between 3rd century BC and 3rd century AD in South India, the area lying to the south of river Krishna and Tungabhadra is known as Sangam period. The Sangam age in South India is a landmark in her history. The word Sangam is the Tamil form of the Sanskrit word Sang, which means a group of persons or an association. It has been named after the Sangam academics held during that period in which eminent scholars assembled and functioned as the board of censors, and the choicest literature was rendered in the nature of anthologies under the patronage of the Pandyan kings in three different periods at three different places at three different periods. So the first Sangam is believed to be held in at Madurai, attended by gods and legendary sagas. No literary works of this Sangam is available. The second Sangam was held at Kapadapuram. Only Tokapiyam, the early Tamil grammar, has survived. The third Sangam was held at Madurai. A few of these Tamil literary works have survived and are useful sources to reconstruct the history of the Sangam period. Now moving on to the Sangam literature. So major sources giving details of Sangam is our Sangam literature. The Sangam literature includes Tolkapiyam, which was authored by Tolkapiyar and is considered the earliest of Tamil literary work. Though it is a work on Tamil grammar, but it also provides insights on the political and socio-economic conditions of the time. The second one is Ittutogai, or eight anthologies, which was consist of eight works. The Pattu Pattu 10 Idols consist of 10 works is another work. Pathinenkinkanakus contains 18 works about ethics and morals. Now, three epics. The chief merits of the Sangam works is their absolute devotion to standards and adherence to literary conventions. South India during the Sangam age was ruled by three dynasties, the Cheras, Cholas, and Pandyas. Now, moving on to the Sangam polity and administration. During the period, hereditary monarchy was the form of government. Each of the Sangam ages dynasties had a royal emblem, tiger for the Cholas, car or fish for the Pandyas, and bow for the Cheras. The king was assisted by a wide body of officials who were categorized into five councils. First one is ministers, which was called the Amaichar, the Purohit, which were priests, military commanders, which were Senapatis, and envoys, which were Duttar, or spies, which were Arar. The military administration was efficiently organized and a regular army was associated with each ruler. The chief source of state's income was land revenue, while a custom duty was also imposed on foreign trade. Roads and highways were maintained. Now we will see the society under the Sangam age. The society in the Sangam period is typically consisted of agriculturalists or those who depended indirectly on the land. Besides the peasants, there were landless laborers, carpenters, goldsmiths, hunters, and fishermen. Women had respect and were allowed intellectual pursuits. Women were allowed to choose their life partners, but life of widows was miserable. There is also a mention about the practice of sati being prevalent in the higher strata of society. Now we will see the religion during the Sangam period. So the primary deity of the Sangam period was Murugan, who is held as Tamil god. The worship of the Murugan was having an ancient origin, and the festival relating to god Murugan was mentioned in the Sangam literature. Now we should the economy of the Sangam age. So agriculture was the chief occupation, where rice was the most common crop. The handicraft included weaving, metalworks, and carpentry, shipbuilding, and making of ornaments using beads, stones, and ivory. A high expertise was attained in spinning and weaving of cotton and silk cloths. These were in great demand in the Western world, especially for the cotton cloths woven at Uraiyur. The port city of Puhur is important place for the economy of Sangam period. Many gold coins of a Roman Empire have been found in all parts of Tamil Nadu, indicating flourishing trade. The major exports of the Sangam age were cotton fabrics and spices like pepper, ginger, cardamom, cinnamon, and turmeric, along with ivory products, pearls, and precious stones. The major imports for the traders were horses, gold, and sweet wine. Now we see how the Sangam is ended. So the Sangam period slowly witnessed its decline towards the end of the 3rd century AD. The Kalbharas occupied the Tamil country post Sangam period between 300 AD to 600 AD, whose period was called an inter interreg- inter interregnum or the Dark Age by earlier historians. So, friends, it is brief, all about in brief about Sangam age. So, if you find this notes useful for you, then please do mention in the comment box. And if you want PDF of these notes, then please visit description box. The link is there.